go out at sunrise, chanting, dancing to his name. Haribo, Haribo. He would wake up everyone, rise and rejoice to the name. Haribo, Haribo. Mukunda Madhava, Govinda Hari, Haribo, Haribo. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste and give away the sweetness of his brain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all you have to do is take to the sweet chanting of his name. Haribo, Haribo. Every day the sun will rise, and every day the sun will set. Haribo, Haribo. What's the value of your life if devotion you don't get? Haribo, Haribo. Take the name into your heart, take it with you when you part. Haribo, Haribo.
Hare Krishna, welcome. Thank you for coming. All right.
OGEbeats.com.
Shamakuri. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada. Jesus Nityananda Gauranga Gauranga, Nityananda Nityananda Gauranga Gauranga, Nityananda Nityananda Nityananda, Nityananda Nityananda Nityananda, Nityananda Nityananda Krishna Chaitanya, Shri 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 Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya, Shri 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 Krishna Chaitanya, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Okay, turn your mics on. Let's chant some japa. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama
Rama,
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 Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama, Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Rama, 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 Hare Hare,
Hare
Shri
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Nanda,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Shri
Rama,
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Chaitanya,
Hare
Shri
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Chaitanya,
Hare Hare.
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Chaitanya, Shri
Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya,
Krishna,
Shri
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Chaitanya, Shri
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama,
Shri
Hare Hare.
Krishna Chaitanya,
Hare
Shri
Krishna,
Krishna Chaitanya,
Chaitanya,
Shri
Shri Krishna, Chaitanya,
Chaitanya,
Shri
Shri Krishna
Krishna,
Chaitanya,
Chaitanya,
Shri
Shri
Krishna
Krishna,
Chaitanya,
Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna
Shri
Chaitanya,
Krishna, Chaitanya,
Shri
Shri
Krishna
Krishna,
Chaitanya, Shri
Chaitanya,
Krishna,
Shri Krishna,
Shri
Chaitanya,
Krishna
Shri
Chaitanya, Shri
Shri
Krishna
Krishna,
Chaitanya,
Chaitanya,
Shri
Shri
Krishna
Krishna,
Chaitanya, Shri
Chaitanya,
Krishna
Shri
Chaitanya.
Krishna, Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna
Shri
Chaitanya,
Krishna,
Shri
Chaitanya,
Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri
Shri
Krishna,
Krishna
Chaitanya,
Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna
Shri
Chaitanya,
Krishna, Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna
Shri
Chaitanya,
Krishna,
Hare
Chaitanya,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare.
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram
Rama Rama, Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama Hare
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 Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Hare Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare Hare
Rama,
Krishna Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Hare Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna.
Rama Rama Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna Hare
Rama,
Hare Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama Rama
Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna. Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama Rama
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama Rama Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama Hare
Rama,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna,
Rama Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
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 Rama,
Krishna Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama Hare
Hare,
Hare Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Hare Krishna
Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare Rama
Krishna, Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama
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 Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare Hare Hare
Rama
Rama Hare
Rama,
Rama
Hare Hare,
Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Chaitanya
Krishna
Shri
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare
Chaitanya
Rama,
Shri
Hare Rama,
Chaitanya
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Chaitanya
Krishna
Shri
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare
Chaitanya
Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama Rama, Hare
Shri
Hare,
Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Krishna,
Shri
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Chaitanya
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Shri
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Chaitanya
Rama, Hare
Shri
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Chaitanya
Hare
Shri
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Caitanya,
Krishna
Shri
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Chaitanya,
Rama
Shri
Hare Rama
Krishna
Rama Rama
Chaitanya,
Hare Hare
Shri
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Chaitanya, Shri
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Chaitanya,
Hare Rama Hare
Shri
Rama
Krishna
Rama Rama
Chaitanya,
Hare
Shri
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Chaitanya, Shri
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Chaitanya,
Hare Rama Hare
Shri
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Chaitanya,
Rama Hare
Shri Krishna
Hare Krishna
Chaitanya,
Hare Krishna
Shri
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Chaitanya,
Hare
Shri
Rama Hare
Krishna
Rama
Chaitanya,
Rama Rama
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Chaitanya,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare Rama
Krishna,
Hare Rama
Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare Rama
Krishna
Hare Rama
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare
Rama
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Krishna Krishna,
Rama
Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Krishna,
Rama Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hari
Hare
Hari, Hari
Hare
Ram, Hari
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Krishna
Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Hari.
Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna, Hari Hari,
Krishna
Hari Ram,
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Ram,
Hare Rama Hare
Rama,
Rama Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hari Hari,
Hare
Hari Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Hari,
Hare
Hari
Hare
Ram,
Rama
Hari
Hare
Ram,
Rama Rama
Ram,
Hare Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hari
Krishna
Hari.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hari
Rama Hare
Hari.
Rama
Hari
Rama
Ram, Hari
Rama Hare
Ram,
Hare Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hari
Krishna
Hari. Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Rama Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna, Hari
Rama
Hari.
Rama
Hari
Hare Hare
Ram, Hari
Hare
Ram,
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Hari
Krishna
Hari.
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama Rama Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hari Hari,
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Ram, Hari
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hari Hari,
Rama
Hari
Hare Rama
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Hari.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama
Hare Hare.
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Krishna Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Rama Hare
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama Rama
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare. Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Rama Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare. Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Rama Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare.
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare Rama
Ram,
Hare Rama
Hare Hare.
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Hare Rama
Hare Hare.
Rama
Hare
Rama Hare
Ram,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna,
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Ram, Hare
Rama
Ram.
Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Rama
Ram,
Hare Rama
Ram, Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare. Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama
Hare Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Hare Hare
Ram,
Hare Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Rama
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare.
Hare Rama
Hare Ram,
Rama
Hare Ram,
Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare.
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Hare
Shri
Rama
Krishna
Rama Rama
Chaitanya,
Rama
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Hare
Shri
Hare
Krishna Chaitanya,
Krishna
Shri Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya,
Chaitanya,
Shri
Shri
Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya,
Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya,
Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya, Shri
Chaitanya,
Krishna
Shri Krishna
Chaitanya,
Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna
Shri
Chaitanya,
Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri
Shri
Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya,
Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Chaitanya,
Krishna
Shri
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Chaitanya,
Hare Rama,
Shri
Rama
Krishna
Rama, Rama
Chaitanya,
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Chaitanya,
Krishna
Shri
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Rama, Hare
Chaitanya,
Rama, Rama
Shri
Rama,
Krishna
Hare Hare
Chaitanya,
Krishna,
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Chaitanya,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama
Shri
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya,
Hare
Shri
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Chaitanya,
Krishna Krishna,
Shri
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Shri
Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare,
Chaitanya, Shri
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Chaitanya,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare
Shri
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Chaitanya, Shri
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Shri
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Chaitanya,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Shri
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Chaitanya,
Hare,
Shri
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Shri
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Chaitanya,
Hare Krishna,
Shri Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Chaitanya,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Shri
Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Chaitanya,
Rama,
Shri
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Ram, Hare
Rama
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Ram,
Rama
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Oh, my Lord
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Rama
Rama,
Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna,
Rama Hare Rama Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Hare
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
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 Hare Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama Rama Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Rama Rama
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare Rama
Rama,
Rama Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
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 Rama Hare Rama
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Rama Rama Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama Rama Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare Rama
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Rama
Hare Hare
Rama, Hare Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Rama Rama Rama
Hare Hare
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna.
Krishna. Om
Krishna,
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo,
Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Om Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Shri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai
Jaya
Jai
Jaya
Shri
Sri
Chaitanya,
Chaitanya Jaya
Jai Nityananda,
Nityananda
Jai
Jaya
Shri
Shri
Advaita
Advaita Chandra Jaya
Jai
Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama.
Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
All glories to Lord Gaurachandra. All glories to Lord Gaurachandra. All glories to Lord Gaurachandra.
All glories to Lord Gaurachandra.
Okay, mute your mics, everybody. Thank you. The Lord of the entire universe. The Lord of the entire universe. He is the crown jewel of the Brahmins, the perfect renunciate, and the supreme amongst the Vedic personalities. He is the gem out of the womb of the Blessed Mother Sachi. All glories to Sri Vishvambara. All glories to Sri Vishvambara and Sri Nityananda. All glories to their devotees and associates. One attains the highest perfection of life by constantly hearing the narrations of Sri Chaitanya's transcendental pastimes. These topics of Navadvip Leela are recorded in Madhya are like an ocean of nectar. The Lord was always engrossed in Sankirtan, relishing the taste of his own transcendental name. That's what it's all about. Tasting the glories of the transcendental name. You got to know it's transcendental. You got to be able to transcend by that taste. It's that simple, man. That taste, it connects us to the divine. And that's why you have to be awakened for that taste. One attains the highest perfection of life. Oh, thanks. The Lord was always engrossed in Sankirtan, relishing the taste of his own transcendental name. Being thus intoxicated, that's another attribute, is intoxication by that name. You know, it's a transcendental, it's pure, it's wonderful. You know, you get a little bit drunk on that name, tasting it. See? And so that's what the Lord, isn't that amazing? Such a simple mission to come here and distribute the taste for that name so you can see it's holy. You know, if you can't taste it, you can't appreciate its holiness. That's why real Vaishnavism or Krishna consciousness has to achieve that level of that taste, deep taste. Deeper, ever deepening taste, not just to be stuck on one level like awe and reverence, and there's some taste in that, but to go to the deep taste, to the kind of the level where the Lord and his devotees were, where you become intoxicated, you know, and free, to feel that freedom, that you just burst through that rules platform, you know, you're just doing it out of duty, you know, and rules, and not doing it. When you do it out of taste, then that's the rule, is your taste, man. You're ruled by that taste, or actually Krishna's ruled by that taste. That's the one thing that brings him, is that your taste for him, your taste for his name is very attractive to the Lord. He comes like pronto, right away. Comes close, and then you get drunk and intoxicated on the Lord because he's so close. Without, you see, that's why it says only the devotees. He's only bound by devotion. So we got to become devotees so that we can bind the Lord close to us. Even in marriage, you know, in the world, you know, they have the rope, you know, they put a rope around the husband and the groom. I think they do that in India. See, it's this thing, we got to do the rope. The devotion is the rope. Real bhakti, it's spontaneous. It's only had in association of the devotees. It's the only practical way to get it, is to get that taste. That's why it says that the real spiritual master, you get Bhakti Lata Bij. Bhakti Lata Bij is simply the taste, that pure taste for the Lord, you know, and this is how our devotion grows. This is how the Lord we grow in awareness of the Lord. It becomes more and more real and more real. See, realized. The real eyes of devotion makes us realize where we can realize the Lord, his reality. See, that reality. Otherwise, like River Yamuna was preaching this morning, you know, what are we realizing in this world? Maya. And it creates what? A false ego. and makes us miserable. Just that's our in the inauspicious life is the false ego, false identification. See, that's why people are miserable. That's why people are weak. Look how strong we're getting in this. Isn't that amazing? You know, that's what inspires me. I see the devotees becoming stronger in the Lord. See, in the transcendental Lord. See, their taste is drawing them closer to the Lord and the Lord closer to them. You see the relationship. See, this is an eternal relationship. This is how we draw the Lord closer to us. Engaging in these discussions, engaging in this chanting, in tasting the nectar in this name. You know, tasting the nectar of the name. The name is Krishna, right? The scriptures say this is the name of God. But how do you realize it? It's only by taste, increasing beyond Vaidhi. That's why you need to hear and be in the vibration, the frequency of the advanced devotees who are advanced beyond the Vaidhi. No Vaidhi guru, if they're not on the level, even if they're a transcendental, all you can get are the rays if that's all they're giving you. You know, you just like, well, you know, Prabhupada never showed any devotion. Yeah, but you get the rays, right? But they're, you know, that's all you, if that's as far as you progress, as soon as he's gone, the rays, right? Where are the rays anymore? They're not in you. Could you imagine if Jesus said, I must go because I want to send the Holy Spirit in you. So it'll be in you. Right now it's outside you. You're getting the rays, so you feel good, right? But if you don't get it in you, see, then Maya will attack you and you will go down. That's what happened with Prabhupada's disciples and Bhaktisiddhantas. See, that was the last thing I had to deal with Narayan Raj. My disciples, some of them lost faith because he told them that I only had the rays, which was not true. See, he only had the rays, and all these gurus had the rays. See, they're only projecting. See, you only get the rays if you have a real devotee, living devotee here, just like here. Some will only get the rays. And once the guru, the real guru disappears, then they just go out and, you know, and they lose it. That's why everybody, you need to come to the point where you get the awakening deeply inside. Like Prabhupada had. When his guru left, he said, I never had a problem. But everybody else did. There were fights, there were wars, and nobody that wants to talk about it. There are like here, don't talk about the illusion. Don't tell me Maya. Don't tell me that Maya's active and trying to screw and kill everybody and depop. Don't tell me that. No, but I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that there, after Bhaktisiddhanta leave, there were wars there and murders and killings. This is because they only got the rays and Bhaktisiddhanta didn't get it. But Prabhupada had the deep awakening. Therefore, he said, I never had a problem. He saw the bullshit going on. He said, they thought I was a rotten grihastha, rotting away in household life. I was preparing his whole life. He was preparing to follow the order of his guru. For years, he was learning Mridanga. He was practicing his English and all this stuff, you know, so he can preach. His guru gave him an order, you know, living guru gave him an order to do that. That's why if you want to progress, you follow the order. You know, if I say, hey, man, why don't you do this or do this? You follow. Otherwise, you're just going to be lost in the rays. You know, you got to go by the book, especially if you're in the rays only. You know, by regular classes of Srimad Bhagavatam like this, and by service to the devotee, all that's troublesome to the heart is, and then you get the real awakening, man, beyond this Brahman bullshit. You know, otherwise that'll just fade away eventually. You got to get service. You serve the guru. If they give you an order, you know, serve, and that's your opportunity to progress. Then you're showing Krishna that you're doing something. You know, that you're serious. You know, I got my order. I'm doing it. You guys got a living guru right before you, you know. Prabhupada had a living guru, right before him. The guru said, do that. He started immediately practicing, preparing. See, well, that's, that's kind of how it works. So I see people sometimes they just in the rays here, they just stay in a rays. I said, well, if you want to progress, do something, man. If I, kind of help it, do some practical stuff here, and then you'll start to feel the bliss. I've seen it when people start to get active. You'll find bliss is in the work because that's what you need to do to ground it, to bring it forth into this world, bring it in your body, not up in the, people stay in their heads. Okay? No, you bring it in the body, man. Serve the mission. Practically, even in churches, they do this. Churches, they have people have ministries. They do that to do some work for the church. They're together, one body of Christ. They got a mission. Oh yeah, what ministry do you want? What ministry do you? The people have different ministries. Here also, you could do a little different ministry. Yeah. By the way, River, do you have on this platform that you broadcast on, do you have it hooked to YouTube and Twitch and all these other programs? Yeah?
Because I haven't bought it, Maharaj, I can only use 2. So I have it on Twitch and Twitter. If I have to pay for it to have more.
Yeah. Forget about Twitch. They ain't anything. Put it
Which
on
ones do you
YouTube.
want me to do?
YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
YouTube and Twitter is okay.
Okay.
Twitter, yeah. And actually, if you get more than 25 persons, Twitch, YouTube and Rumble. Rumble is it's only $5 a month if you don't have 25. But if you get up to 25 followers, see, this is practical. See, this is good if you do that. And then YouTube has got a big following. A lot of people see. And then there's people that don't have Facebook, and then I can tag your videos. Like there's one person I'd like to have it, but they don't have Facebook, but they have most everybody has access to YouTube.
Yeah, everybody does,
Yeah. So YouTube is preferable. See, practical stuff like this. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to advance, if you want to stick in the rays, okay, well, fine. Just, whatever. Go for it. Yeah. So, all glories. Oh, yeah, okay. These topics of Navadvip Leela. Okay. The sweet ambrosia of Krishna Prem led the Lord to act like a madman. The Lord whose body is the object of even Lord Brahma's worship was besmeared with the dust from rolling upon the ground. The devotees satiated their vision by seeing the Lord submerged in an ocean of divine bliss. In times when he emerged out of the blissful state of the unconsciousness, he would sometimes be surrounded by his associates, and at other times he would go to the Ganga to take a bath. On some occasions, after dancing for a long time, the Lord would sit with his devotees, who would then give him a shower with Ganga water. One of the maidservants of Srivas Pandit, you can, do you want to read their, did you get your book there, Shamaguri, yet? It's coming later?
It's coming next week.
Okay, great, awesome. Okay, so River, you want to read a little bit? Okay.
What are you reading, Maharaj? Because you haven't said.
Oh, sorry. Page 541, and it's the last paragraph.
Okay. Oh, okay. Madhyakonda chapter 24. Thanks, Maharaj. The dead son of Srivas Pandit elucidates the truth. Is that the right?
Elucidates.
Yeah. Okay.
Elucidates.
Elucidates. What does that mean?
Makes it more clear. See, that's what we do here. It's all about making things more clear, you know. Like, wow, I never thought of that before.
That's,
Wow, that's a revelation.
that's what happens all the time, actually.
Yeah, that's why Sadhu Sangha is praised as the best place, because it's the only place where things really get clear, you know, discussing Krishna. You know, how can they not get clear? You're discussing the absolute truth, you know, and then you can see what's going on in the world and how much bullshit it is and what's really real. And you know, all these things we learn. This is why, you know, these topics that we're discussing are in the highest level and are very rare. And that's why people just coming here, you get the qualification to discuss what even the greatest scholars of India, you know, they can't even have entrance into. It's that good here. But people, they don't even, it's so deep and so real that, and so, yeah, it's that people can't understand it. Even these scholars can't, because the only way you can enter into these discussions is with faith. You have to, it's Bhagavad Gita, you follow the process, you know. Oh, Arjuna, I can tell you these confidential things because you're not envious of me. So many Vaishnavas still have envy and jealousy and all that. They don't, that's why they don't understand the Bhagavad Gita, even though they're reading it. They got to get purified by the living force, the living devotee, the force of their preaching. See, and gradually, as they're getting purified and submitting to the opinion of Krishna coming through them, see, it's like just like having Krishna's understanding coming through them. Then you start to learn this because you become a devotee of a devotee, you become a real disciple. Otherwise, you can't force yourself into these mysteries. You can't just storm the gates or jump over Guru. That's why I always throw people back to Guru Tattva until you demonstrate that you're a real disciple. Then you get it automatically. Look at River, look at Lalita, look at Johan, look at anybody who's becoming like a real devotee. Look at Shamaguri, anybody coming into that mood, you know, and I can tell, and everybody else can tell. You know, so it's, well, not everybody, actually, not everybody, but as you become purified, you can understand who is really a devotee of a devotee. Because if you're really not a real disciple, sincere disciple, you'll be a little bit on the outside. Just how it is, you know. But that's your opportunity, is to advance. You get to look around and see what the standard is. Because I guarantee you it's not that checklist that they have out in ISKCON. That is not the standard. The standard is self-evident here. It's in the book. It's in people's actual demonstration here. He's showing what is a real disciple and a devotee, and it shows in their revelation and their realization and their taste. See? So everybody, you have a great opportunity to learn ever deepening devotional service just by the examples of these illustrious devotees here. Many of them are just very advanced. The Lord has advanced them, even though they come from the most fallen positions. The Lord is advancing them because of their faith, and they're following the process. And it's not all that hard. See? We have so much opportunity here and so much help. Yeah. So go ahead there, River.
Thanks. Thank you. Okay, the last verse you said, yes?
Yeah.
One of the maidservants of Srivas Pandit, named Duki, will carry all the Ganga water for the Lord's bath, while the Lord was still engaged in dancing. She would watch the beautiful form of the Lord, dancing in the highest spiritual exaltation, and tears would well up in drops, from her eyes. And then she would go out again to bring more pots of Ganga water for his bath.
See, that's the process. She's doing service. You notice she's getting the friggin' Ganga water, right? She's doing something. She's serving the mission of Lord Caitanya at the time, that practical time, place, and circumstance. He's dancing, see, and the devotees there are all serving the Lord in different ways. Okay? And tears well up in her eyes. She's getting purified. See, without tears, you're not even cultivating Krishna consciousness. That's why when the tears start to come, because she's doing something. Isn't that so funny? But the Lord proves my points all the time because they're his points. When you understand that, you see it's right there in the book. She's out there with the Ganga water, giving the Lord a shower, you know, and then tears are welling up in her eyes. So watch how the story goes. You, everybody, you follow this path that she's doing, and the tears will well up in your eyes, and you start to get really purified. Remember that one tear used to get in one eye? How it progressed, how you used to laugh but no sound came out. Now look at it. My God, man, you almost cut it out, man. Where's the muzzle, man? Muzzle that girl, muffler, put the muffler on.
You know, Maharaj, sometimes it's so loud I feel like it's just burning things off me.
Yeah.
Because it just with me as well. Okay.
See, follow the process, you'll get the result, man. Go ahead.
Be following and following and following.
Yeah.
Okay. When the Lord saw the water pots full of Ganga water, neatly arranged in rows, he was very pleased. He inquired about this from Srivas Pandit, who brings the Ganga water daily. Srivas replied, Duki, the maidservant, brings them daily. The Lord said, then you should all rename her Suki Suki.
Yeah, you know, when the tears start to come, then see, Dookie, they called her because she was always looking sad. We get some of those here. They always kind of look a little sad, you know. And anyway, the Lord is omniscient. He says, oh, you got to rename her Suki now. See, the tears came. When the tears start coming and she like tastes the nectar in the service of the Lord. Even if you're chanting the Lord's name and the tears start coming when you're chanting, now you're starting to taste the nectar, and that takes away your unhappiness, takes away your dookie-ness. See, so you go from dookie to shuki, happy, and you're happy in the Lord, happy in the Lord's service. That's basically what we're getting here. And this happiness is not ordinary. This is God happiness. You know, this is eternal happiness. This is not the happy, sad trip of this world. You know, oh, I got this material thing. I'm so happy. And then you lose it. I'm so sad. Happy, sad. This back and forth, union and separation in the material objects. See, here, even the separation from the Lord is a kind of ecstasy and happiness when it's purified. Okay. See, so this is where it's all going here, you know. See, so you wanna transcend. That's why I meet people that they're shuki here. I said very sad looking people. See, and if they just continue to serve the Lord you serve the mission of the Lord through the devotees here, your sadness will go, your unhappiness will go, your fickle mind will go, and you become fixed in true happiness. You fixed in the service of the Lord because of the taste. That's what fixes. If I had no taste, I would be gone, man. I would be, and the rules aren't going to keep me around. I'd be go looking for some other taste. It's the taste for the service of the Lord that keeps me here doing this every day. Otherwise, I'd be gone. Just like everybody else is gone. These Vaidhi Bhaktas are gone. They're out there. They get a taste for the rules. I have never had a taste for the rules. I would not serve Krishna just because of a rule. I never, it's just never been my path in this life. And probably for many lifetimes, I've not been on that one. I serve God for happiness, the happiness of being close. I like closeness, man. That's why people aren't close here. The Vaidhis many of them are not close because they don't like this closeness. If they come here, they're going to get closeness with God, but they think, oh, well, wait a second, man. It's kind of like, when Moses was around, Moses went up to the mountain and he met God and he liked it. He said, wow, it's so nice to be close to God. He's right up on the mountain there. Come on up. Let's all go up and meet God. Oh, no, we don't want, no, you go up. So that's what basically the Vaidhis are. No, we don't want this closeness that you got there, that you're going every day in that wild, shamanistic, ecstatic, devotional experience. No, you go up. We'll stay over here and do our rules. Basically, that's what they're saying. We'll stay over in the distance and watch you and laugh at you and criticize a little bit. Try and convince keep our flock together here, out there and say, don't go over there, man. You don't want to go over on that mountain that they're on. Look, you'll become like them, man. You'll be wildly intoxicated, And we know that's bad. That's no good, man. Don't don't do any of that. Don't get wildly intoxicated. No, you stay over here, and no onions for you. No onions. Noodles, you stay home. No onions or garlic. No. Right? Honey knows what I'm talking about. She had the big guilt trip, man. She loved onions, man. And she wanted to serve Krishna, but no, you cannot serve Krishna. If you like that's natural for you to eat onions. No way. Because you're going to fall down into the depths of hell if you eat an onion. Well, I mean, that's kind of the fun. I mean, I know I was in ISKCON for 5 years. I was going to the shop. I was so on the mental platform, man. I go in, I tried this. I wanted to see what it's like to be a Vaidhi Bhakta. So I go into the supermarket and man, I was instantly on the mental platform because I got to read every friggin' label to make sure the cheese didn't have that minuscule amount of rennet in it. So it would take me a half hour to choose a ball of cheese because I have to read every friggin' land because most of them have a little bit of that rennet in there.
Mm.
Find one, and so I have to do that with everything, completely on the mental platform. So anyway, I know what it's like to be to try to fit in that mold. No, I like this better. And if you guys want to remain distant on that and all that stuff, and you want to be dookie, because I haven't seen that many Vaidhi Bhaktis that look that happy. Not deeply happy. See, so this is how you do it. You notice how fast this is? You go and if you serve this mission that we're doing here, very quickly you go from sadness or dookiness to happiness, God happiness. But sincerely, I mean, not just, just try to get, just suck the energy and then not follow the process. No, you come here and say, I want to follow the process because it works. River, I spent time with her and she was a servant. She served, man, She did things for the mission. She still does, everybody, like Lalita, everybody. Whatever you do, and you get there very fast. I mean, you want the fast track, you follow their example. Yes, Noodle instantly made Suki by that onion episode. She was so happy, and she said, "Oh, I'm gonna get in this sangha, man." She was happy to get out of that one, man.
Oh.
The guilt, both of them, they had guilt. I couldn't finish my rounds, I had to work, and do all these rounds. I got to make them up, but I don't want to make them up. Oh, big conflict, See? You come here, you lose.
Maharaj,
Yeah, go ahead. What?
one time I took some samosas to the Namahata, and I made sure there was no garlic in them. But then she says, as they got onions in, and she went on at me in the actual room, and I was crying because I didn't know that we couldn't have onions. Actually, I was crying and crying, and she was going on and on at me about these onions.
Oh, that's a horrible thing, man.
It was really disturbing, actually.
Yeah. A lot of this stuff is just lack of knowledge. The onions and garlic thing was only for Brahmins. Who the heck is all it's not about, it's so funny. We're all pretty much more or less Sudras and householders, and so that's a Brahmin thing to, for Brahmins, they do that. So because they don't want to, or actually brahmacharis and Brahmins who want to remain celibate, so there's not a slight amount of agitation. But nobody knows why they're doing anything. That's why it's called blind adherence to the rules and regulations. People just do them. They don't know why or who it fits to or anything. See, but when you get this level, you start to become intelligent. You can analyze. People, if you want to go beyond the neophyte stage, only by the association of devotees teaching the reasons of this. We serve a reasonable God. We serve an intelligent God. His intelligence is in the Vedas. Okay? But most people, they're so neophyte, they cannot analyze this, and they're still unwilling to learn from the advanced devotees because they're in this very stages. They think they're more than they are. It's called false confidence. They think they're so smart, they know everything about bhakti because they memorize some scriptures or something. But they can't analyze the situations. You only get that by association and being willing to associate with advanced devotees. So when the mercy of Krishna or God thickens, and this goes for Christians too, a lot of them are not very intelligent. They still believe in that God has to kill his son, before you can be elevated, and they think that's the standard. Did Lord Caitanya die for the sins of man? No. See, so therefore they don't accept. So that's not intelligent. That's not that. To increase their intelligence, you have to associate. That's why I associated with the Vedas. Otherwise, I would have been stuck on that level of only having the Bible the way it is and with all the editors chopping it up, and putting interpolations in there and material motivations to make, Jesus is the only servant God is ever going to send. He's never going to send anybody, even though he sent Moses and so many, what do you call, prophets before that. He's never going to send another prophet, like Jesus. So then you're all stuck in that sectarian view, and it's not a wide vision of the Lord. How the Lord, and you can't be open. See, these Vedas are a great opportunity to open your understanding, deepen it. See, even the Vaidis, they can't see beyond that. They need association with those who have a broader vision, God vision. But it has to be empowered. Can't be some mental speculation. You have to be actually empowered by the Lord. He has to be using you, speaking through you, speaking as you, where people could see, oh, this person is intelligent because they got transcendental intelligence. Where does transcendental knowledge come from? From a transcendentally empowered, intelligent person, right? not from somebody, well, I'll give you transcendental knowledge, but they're not a transcendentally intelligent, empowered person. You know, you got to bring it through from the spiritual level, this transcendental knowledge. That means you got to be a real channel for that. You got to be a real flute. Flute is a channel for the divine, right? It's God's breath, Krishna's breath blowing through that person. You know? Not just anybody that's not hollowed out, you know, is still envious and jealous. That's called religion. That's why if you want to transcend religion, you have to meet the real flutes of Krishna in our line. You got to meet a real associate of Lord Caitanya who is ecstatic and shows you what it would look like 550 years ago. You know, how are you going to know? Can you imagine these gurus don't even know what it looks like 550 years ago when Lord Caitanya was here, and they're worshiping the Lord who they don't know very well. Because if they knew, they would be here in a heartbeat, in a minute. Because this is a revival of that level. Hey, where are you going to, you want to wait for the next one? Who knows when that will come? Okay? So that's why I pay, you know, this is no big deal to me. These gurus, they can't appreciate Shuddha Bhakti. They can't appreciate Lord Chaitanya's gift to this world. What is that to me? You know, we're here to add to the whole Krishna conscious movement, to move it up a notch or two, or three or four, or all the way up to the end goal, the end game, is this ecstatic worship. Yeah, they're out there in the level of religion still. They don't know what why the Lord came here. You know, we show you why the Lord came. Isn't that amazing? We show you why the Lord came here. Show it, man. Demonstrate it. He came here to taste the name, didn't it? Didn't we just read that? He came to relish the name. Is anybody relishing the name of the Lord? Well, what is the proof? You relish the name and you get stoned, man, intoxicated. People look at you and they say, did you drink a bottle of wine or something? If you're not looking like that, you haven't drank the holy name yet. You're dry. You don't eat onions and garlic before you date with a lover. Yeah, that's true. You don't want to. Yeah, you might not, before you chant the holy name, you might not want to gross the Lord out. Eat when you're doing something else, garlic and onions. I'm fortunate. I hate onions. I never, even as a child, my father used to really get angry because I hated onions. I would never, he smashed a meatball sandwich in my face. I remember that because I wouldn't eat the onions in them. He said, oh, you won't eat the onions? And he took the meatball sandwich and smashed it right in my face. I still remember that. I was traumatized for years. No. Go ahead there, River. Read on.
Okay. The Lord said, then you all should rename her Sukhi, happy, instead of Dukhi, which means sad. The name Dukhi is not befitting her. I think Sukhi is the most appropriate
name. She became happy because she was engaged in serving the ecstatic Lord and the ecstatic devotees. That is a secret. These 11 disciples of Jesus became Holy Spirit filled, ecstatic, the happiness of God because they served Jesus and the mission. This is the way. This is the only way. That's why I said by regular classes in Bhagavatam. That means Ideally, the confidential message, not regular classes on, oh yeah, Bhagavatam is all about the rules or regulations and Varnashram Dharma, and you just do that path. That's what the Bhagavatam is about. No, the Bhagavatam was actually started because of unfulfillment, because of a dookiness in Veda Vyas was dooky, because he was teaching the rules and regulations only, and liberation in his heart felt dooky, unhappy. And guess who helped him? See, he turned to the ecstatic devotees. Always you got to turn to the ecstatic devotees who are shuki, happy in deeply, intimately in God, in the Lord. That's the cure for dookiness. So these persons who are promoting from the Bhagavatam the rules and regulations have never even read the Bhagavatam yet. You don't, that's where it started. That's why you see many Vaishnavas, they're not really that attached to the Bhagavatam, maybe superficially, but they don't understand the Bhagavatam. Because you got to find somebody happy in God, who tastes the nectar of the Bhagavatam, tastes the nectar of these verses, taste the real meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam, taste the real meaning of this particular pastime here, and can lead people into that gate, into that kingdom. Otherwise, nobody knows where to go. They're scrambling all around like little ants. They don't know where to go. It's only the narrow gate. See, the Bhagavad Gita 10:10 personified. The ones who worship the Lord with this deep prema taste, they have the real understanding, have the real knowledge. See, you listen to them, you get purified. Oh, wow, I found the goal. The goal of life is to face the devotee and taste the nectar of these topics, to hear these topics. See? And then you act on these topics automatically if you really listen attentively. Unless you're one of those that said, well, I agree with this, and I don't agree with that, and I agree with this, and I don't agree with that. What? What's there not to agree with? You know, you can check. See, you got to go beyond speculation to get this nectar. Therefore, you can listen here and check and see if I didn't say it. If that makes it more clear what I'm explaining here than what you understood before that, then that means that's Krishna, right? That's the deeper level of understanding that you didn't have before. And if you admit that, okay, now you're going to overcome pride and false prestige. Otherwise not. You got to be intelligent. You come here, we'll teach you how to become an intelligent analyzer of the scriptures. You got to hear the words, the non-speculative words of a real devotee, and you can check that they clarify what hasn't been clarified in your own mind before. They're the best. Because if you're empowered by the transcendental Lord, what you say is going to be strong. What you say is going to add clarity to the situation. Otherwise not. Your mind will be muddled. That's the whole problem in these speculators. It just muddles your mind. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead there, River.
The devotees were moved to tears upon seeing the unlimited mercy of the Lord upon the poor maidservant. From that time, they began to call her Sukhi, and Srivas Pandit also stopped regarding and treating her as a maidservant. This illustrates that one can easily attain Krishna's lotus feet by loving devotional service to him.
See, you get the honor of a devotee when you become a devotee. See, that's why you see it works here, because there's a society of real devotees. When you become a real devotee and you get the tears and you serve as devotees do, and you learn these lessons and you're tasting this nectar, you become honored amongst the devotees here. Automatically, you're honored. You're not just like an ordinary person or a speculator or a Brahmin, person, you become a devotee and you get the honor of a devotee naturally from the devotees. That's how it works. That's how you see. Yeah. And if you don't, sometimes, we got some mixtures and the Lord is, and you can see if you're honest with yourself, you're like, oh, I want the praise. Oh, why am I not getting some praise? See, that's that weed there that wants to be watered. And sometimes then you get the water, right? Gohari doesn't give the praise, he doesn't say, he doesn't say anything about you. See, that's because there's weeds there that want to be watered. They're out there like, water me, water me. And Gohari says, I ain't going to water that thing, man. No way. I ain't here to water weeds. We're here to water the real creeper. So you see those who are following the real path really nicely, how they get praised. Yeah. Then you follow in their footsteps, and then you'll get all that. But we're not going to water the weeds and the jumpers. Who you ever see the kangaroos? They want to jump over the real path. No, serve like Dookie, and you become Shuki in God, and then automatically you won't be treated like an ordinary person out there. You see, they even had the standard there. Till those tears started to sincerely come, and she got that by serving the devotees. Question, how can we overcome laziness? Oh yeah, that's easy. Just do it anyway. I was actually watching a TikTok about this. One guy was saying, if you don't feel like exercising, do it anyway. If you don't feel like going to the gym, do it anyway. Called discipline. Yeah, discipline yourself. How do you overcome laziness? Just do it. Don't be lazy. See what happens. Go ahead there, Rita. You want to say something?
Being a Vaidhi devotee, you cannot be lazy.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I remember that. Oh, discipline. Getting up in the morning, taking a shower, chanting 16 rounds, 2 hours. Yeah. I did it for many years, Gurudev.
Yeah.
And then standing on the street all day long, selling books and other paraphernalia.
Yeah. Got you here, so now you can take a break. It's easier. The Lord makes it easier. All that stuff is to get you to be associated with the devotees. See, all that power of the Vaidhi is to keep you engaged, and usually the Vaidhi teachers and all that continue that thing. And plus we have fruitive, there's a lot of reasons for the religion law side of that, because we have fruitive desires and fruitive energy. And so to engage that in that direction, and gradually, you come here and then you can understand deeply in the heart and the mind what you're doing. So, you kind of get that fruitive thing purified. Go ahead there, River. Thank you.
Okay.
Maharaj, it's always nice to do things for others. So I always say I'm going to do it for Krishna. So once I put that there, then I do it more and more and more. Do it for Krishna, do it for Krishna. Keep myself healthy for Krishna, eat well for Krishna, things like that. It kind of helps me, that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, you can do that. Say, I'm doing this, and actually more practically, you're doing this for to serve Vaishnavas, in their mission to Krishna. See, then that's how it is in Vrindavan. You don't work independently, man. If you die in that mood of just me and Krishna and all that, you can't serve there, because you got to work under the guidance and the in association of the group leaders. So you got a group leader here. You work to benefit this mission here, that focus. See, and then you progress. That's what they even do in Vrindavan. They don't independently serve Radha and Krishna. They're in a group with a group leader.
Hmm.
And then they learn more, just like you're learning here. You're learning more about Krishna. That's how you do it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. One cannot avoid the jaws of death merely by shaving one's head as a mark of renunciation. Material knowledge, high birth, beauty and wealth are useless if not used for the satisfaction of Krishna with pure devotional attachment. Sri Caitanya, the Supreme Lord, incarnated to play the part of an ideal personality, and thereby all his actions conform exactly to the Vedic injunctions. Conform exactly to the Vedic injunctions, excuse me.
Yeah, and actually the ideal personality, see, like conform to the Vedic injunctions. Yeah, he did that to an extent, but the way to really do that is to come to the point of serving Krishna with deep taste. See? Now that is conforming. You've got the result of following the Vedic injunction is to come to tasting the nectar in this name. That's really the result of that. And you can either follow the Vedic injunctions for lifetimes like the gurus teach you, and maybe you'll come to the point, it's very rare, but ultimately, ideally, it's always coming to the devotees who have they're deep, intimate associates of the Lord. They're the saviors, and they save you from a lot of trouble. And you'll get it. So you can get it now, or you can do this many lifetime path that the gurus like Narayan Raj promised everybody. Oh yeah, you just keep serving like this and do the rules and don't eat this and don't eat that and definitely no onions and no this and no that. And after many lifetimes of just continual thing, then you'll get prema. Okay? Or you can come and learn the essence of the truth. The essence of the truth, come into the association of devotees who are tasting this nectar and get purified through, if there's any envy and jealousies in there, get purified of that. See? And then you will taste this nectar. You'll be purified. Then you'll be able to read this book and you'll laugh and you'll cry and you'll taste the deep meanings of these verses, deep meaning of the names of God. The deep happiness of the, see, that's what you can do, whether you followed rules or not, whatever it takes. Maybe it's to be hooked on a machine for 30 years, like her, right? Like you. And then somehow or other, you've come to this path. It brought you here. See, or Tom, following Sadhu Maharaj or whoever he was following, believing in Amma. It brought you here. Whatever you do, maybe it's just being out in the world and being really miserable, realizing that maybe it's coming to Prabhupada and then seeing how they destroying the real essence of what Prabhupada was really wanting. This real pure bhakti thing. I mean, anyway, this is how we're doing it now, is to bring people to that stage and where you're not beyond the rules. You got to go beyond the rules. You got to transcend the rules. But the only way is with taste, and the only way is with tasters of the nectar in the name. The only practical way. Yeah, that's why the Lord came here with his devotees. They were tasting the nectar of the chanting and the hearing. And people got it by being around them, showing and demonstrating the highest truth. Remember, Jesus said, the truth will set you free. Well, how much higher of a truth can you get than tasting the nectar and the name and the pastimes and the qualities and the philosophy and the meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam and promoting that in this world? How can you get a higher truth than that? It doesn't exist. AI can't even figure that out. Yeah, go ahead, River.
Such blessings as bestowed by the Lord upon the maidservant Duki are never received by those who are blinded by false pride. One may only imagine the extent of the Lord's divine grace upon Srivas Pandit, when even his servants and maidservants were so fortunate. One day, as was usual, the Lord was dancing in Srivas Pandit's home. The devotees, including Srivas, encircled the Lord, sang and danced. Just then, in the inner quarters of the house, the son of Srivas passed away due to some illness, while the ladies looked so helplessly. Outside in the inner rooms, the Kirtan was in full progress, and the Lord danced in ecstasy. Suddenly, the sounds of loud wailing filled the air. Srivas Pandit hurried inside the house and saw his son was lying dead on the bed. Srivas Pandit was a most elevated devotee, grave and knowledgeable. He quickly took charge of the situation, forbidding the ladies to lament so bitterly. He said, "You are all aware of the transcendental potencies of Sri Krishna. Therefore, restrain your tears and contain the sorrow of your heart." Wow. The Lord, whose holy name is capable of purifying and elevating to the spiritual world even the most dreadful of sinners, just by one simple utterance, is now personally present and dancing in ecstasy with his servitors, each of whom is like Brahma himself. During such an auspicious time, if someone leaves the body, why should anyone lament? I would consider myself very fortunate if I were to have the same fate as this boy. Although you are unable to distance yourself from the attachments of family life, you should at least stop your crying.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing how the Lord came into such a situation? People still had attachments. See? He gave such a great association to just ordinary people. He gave such great opportunity. Look at great devotees like Srivas preaching to them the transcendental truth. What were you lamenting? His dad died. Just so he died in a great place. You know, with the Lord. They forgot this. This is what attachment does. It makes you forget the truth. And you go in, you know, so Srivas said, yeah, okay, you know, you just, I don't know if he was that repressive with them and say, you know, oh, constrain your tears and all that stuff, because you don't need to. You could say, well, you know, that's truth, but go over there and cry or something. But I'm going to go back to the kirtan, you know, don't want to waste my time here crying, lamenting over, Srivas realized a verse of Bhagavad Gita, the wise person laments neither for the living nor the dead. Because as the soul it goes from one body to another body to another body. So he had that level of realization. But the Lord came, and even though others didn't have it, and he wants to give himself to those who are unqualified. People teach the wrong thing in religion. They're all speculating. Oh, you got to be the perfect devotee to get the Lord. No, all you have to do be the willing devotee. Be like Duki, follow the process. She served the devotees who were serving the Lord. Yeah. Matter of fact, if you were other places where that pastime is put in different ways, there's other angles that were nice. She was in the line, giving the water to the devotees all the way up the line to the last two, which were Nityananda and Advaita. See? They would pass the buckets all the way from the Ganga in line all the way. So everybody was participating in the service of that Lord. And the ones who dumped the water on the Lord were actually Advaita and Nityananda. See, so it kind of came in the line. See, it goes all the way through the line. And that's how a real line is. We serve at what point of the line we're in. That's why you can't just jump over the service. You got to come into the line to serve the Lord. Then your service is accepted. Yeah. So that's the thing. See, serving Krishna directly is good. It's okay. It's purifying after a long time. See, but serving a Vaishnava who's in that line is the direct current, and to receiving, like you putting your letter in the mailbox, it goes all the way through the line to the Lord. You're guaranteed to get there. It's got to go in the authorized mailbox. That's the real disciplic line. That's why it's so powerful here. That's why the knowledge is so deep here, because we're in the real line. It's so deep that these neophyte gurus and neophyte followers can't even fathom what's going on here. It's a big mystery to them, isn't it? Because it's real Bhagavad Gita going on here. You only get the mystery because of your not being envious and open to hearing this. See, being devotees, being receptive, being friendly. See, therefore, the Lord can speak his wisdom in here. There's room for the word. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I hope that was an important call. Otherwise, we'll have to label you Martha and not Mary. My letter got lost in the mailbox.
You know what, Maharaj? I can remember giving my father, when I was really young, a letter I wrote to Santa Claus. I want this. And my dad, he didn't send it because they weren't really into that. But we learned that at school, you write to Santa Claus, if you want it. And my dad didn't take it. I was so upset. And now, obviously, that's the material. Now, all my words, they go through you, the letterbox, and they go to Krishna. And it's such a beautiful thing, Maharaj. You're the real spiritual father that's given us our eternal life. My letters that I write are just given at your feet. Yeah, you give them. Krishna hears them, actually. He's hearing them, Maharaj.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Jesus commented, he said, if you serve a Brahmin, you get, or you serve a righteous man, you say a Brahmin. So right, he's a good person. You get a righteous person's reward because they're just still material, mundane, mode of goodness. So you're serving them, right? And you're basically sending a letter of your service to their Lord. Their Lord is like Brahma, in the world. So you get that result. But if you serve a devotee who's connected to the transcendental Lord, see that Shuddha Bhakti Lord, you get the reward of a prophet. That's what Jesus taught, and it works. That's why the Lord came here, to take service. That's why the Lord's devotees take service for the mission of the Lord. See? And that's how it works. And then that's why I say, if you want to really advance, get into, serving the mission here. Don't serve your mission or somebody else's mission. I see over and over again, that's the problem with a lot of devotees advancing. They're just stubborn like that. No, I'll serve you a little bit, but then I want to go and feed the homeless, and I want to get into this mundane person and serve this person, and all they get is agitation and misery. And then it gets back to me sometimes, and it makes me, because I have connection, with people, with devotees here. And I said, well, that's your misery, is you're getting too involved in mundane affairs of people. Mundane, you want to serve them, and therefore you get the reward of that, which is their agitation. If people will just serve the mission, that's why I say you're not obligated to serve the demigods or to these various paths by the demigods, which are full of speculations. The speculation path of philosophers. Here you have somebody's realized this happiness. They're not dukey. My happiness is in God. You see, and am I here to teach that? How to become happy in God? Just like Dookie became Shuki, and she's part of the disciplic line, actually. She taught people how to be happy in God like her. Just like you guys are also teaching the ones who get this result of how to be happy in Krishna, in his name. You teach that to others because people don't know that. Most of the Vaidis don't really know that really well. Usually because of association. They don't know they're associating a lot of times with envious leaders, envious, hypocritical leaders and stuff like that. They don't know that. They think that you can advance in that association. Sorry, you can't. I know. I tried for 5 years. It didn't work. And of course it doesn't work. It's not even logical. You're serving people that still have those blocks to the happiness of the Lord. See, so that's why it's effective here. See, that's what you learn. And then you see, when you practice here, you following the process, you hear and you serve, and then you get the result of that purification, and you become happier and happier when you chant and hear these verses. See, in Sadhu Sangha, you like to hear these discussions and discuss Krishna. There's no greater happiness in this universe. Not even the demigods. If they're not discussing Krishna like we are, they don't have a happiness like that. No, there's no extraordinary sense gratification that can match this. Ever increasing, ever fresh happiness. Ever fresh understanding of the absolute truth. You notice it doesn't stop, does it? See? And that's why I say this is the best place to be. You don't get this just anywhere. You don't get this in religion. You have to have attained the truth. You have to be set free by the truth of the taste for love of Krishna, love of God, and to associate with devotees like that. Okay? There ain't any other treasure better than that. We got the greatest treasure. Go ahead there, River. Okay, so don't give Shamaguri the name Martha. She's still Mary. She said it was important.
Nobody else should learn about this incident, lest it raises an alarm and disturbs the bliss of the Lord in dancing. If that should happen, then I shall certainly throw myself in the Gangas.
See, isn't that amazing? The Lord came to teach that, how the greatest satisfaction for the soul and for the Lord is this uninterrupted worship, not to be interrupted by the illusions of Maya. See, that's like lamentation. Oh, my son died. Even though, yeah, in the world, of course, you know, people think, oh, you know, it's a terrible thing, you know, and all that stuff. But it's still illusion. The Lord came to show something really extraordinary, and he did. He said the Lord was actually here, and he was showing how wonderful it is to be in the truth and live in the truth, and what that looks like on the highest level. See? And Srivas is just relishing that. And then this disturbance. Can you see it now? Yeah. Oh, his son died. Stop the kirtan. Oh my God, this is terrible. You see, disturb the vibrations. And Srivas say, hey man, settle down. Do you understand the Lord's dance? How many times you get an opportunity like this? How many sons and daughters have died in many lifetimes? But how many times you get the Lord dancing here right in front of you in great bliss and ecstasy, showing you what nobody, not even demigods, have ever seen. And you're seeing that and you're worried about a little death of your son? Pooh, what is that? That's not, you know, just, well, if that's what you're into, go cry your eye, go over there. Go into that soundproof room over there. Cry your eyes out, whatever, but I'm going over. I want to watch that dancing, man. I spent too much time giving you transcendental knowledge, you know. Now you do with what you will. Go cry, do whatever you want, but I'm going back to dancing, man. I want to see what that looks like, man. We haven't even seen that dancing. He got to see that dancing. He got to see the Lord in the mood of Radharani worshiping Krishna in the highest ecstasy that we can't even imagine. And those wives just wanted to stop the kirtan and just go into get over there, you blubbering babes, blubbering women over there, whatever. Even if they were men, don't think I'm sectarian. If there were men doing that, get over there, you blubbering men. We're going to go watch the kirtan. Right there, River, we don't want any disturbance. We want to see that Lord's dancing. We want to see the devotees chanting the name of God in ecstasy. We don't want to listen to any of these dry gurus, you know, speaking their dry verses and wasting our time when we can come here and watch River relishing the nectar in the pastimes of the Lord, and Lalita Ganga laughing at the universe there for not coming into this kind of situation. Go ahead, read on. Let's rub it in some more into the faces of people who believe in Maya.
That's really going to disturb the false ego.
Come here and listen to hard-hearted Gorharidas. No truth. Compassion for even a child dying.
Real compassion is truth, Maharaj.
Yeah.
Is truth. And it's absolute.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, everybody thinks they read Bhagavad Gita and everything, but consider yourself, you're Arjuna, man. We gotta fight, against my teachers and my friends and all. And Krishna says, never. What is this? Why are you lamenting over that which isn't lamentable? A wise person, doesn't lament for the living or the dead. Can you imagine hearing that come? No, people can't imagine it. So I'll just remind everybody of the conversation. I love conversations like that, Yeah. And if you're attached, you don't like conversations like that, Yeah, why are you lamenting for the living and the dead? Never has there been a time when I, nor you, nor all these kings have not existed. See, that's transcendental knowledge. That's called truth. Why are you lamenting? Because of attachment, see, to the mundane, the material, to the illusion of that. So that's why the Lord spoke like that. That's why these books are like this. They teach us the truth. Take shelter of truth. Keep taking shelter, get purified. Truth will set you free. Then you'll just love, even if your son died in the kirtan, and you'll just go on chanting in ecstasy, and everybody will think you're a hard-hearted person. Then you won't care because you're in the truth. Yeah. I'm not here to stroke people's false ego and false IDs and their attachments to the oh, you poor thing. Oh, your son died in the kirtan. No. We're not here to stroke that. I'll just give you the Bhagavad Gita verse. Never has there time been your son, nor you, nor all these other people ceased to be. There always been and always will be. This is, yeah. For parents, it's most traumatizing if their child dies. Yeah, it is. Yeah. But that's what attachment does. It makes you like that. It makes you lose transcendental knowledge. That's why the devotees come here to remind us. You may not, and if you don't like what they say, if you don't like what I said, very good, keep coming back. We got a reaction from you, better than these Mayavadis who get no reaction. You're getting purified because people, they hate the truth. Yeah, they hate it. It's because hate is in there. That's what keeps them opposed to the Lord, to reality. Yeah, go ahead there, River. Read on a little bit more.
Okay. These words had a sobering effect on the women. They stopped crying. And Srivas Pandit went back to join the kirtan.
See, he went back to join the kirtan. I had enough of this. You go over there, cry your eyes out. It doesn't say that they went back to the kirtan. They were just sitting there with the son, the dead body. They could be with the dead body, and Srivas says, I'm out of here. I'm going to be with a living body, man, the living body of God. You sit there with the dead body. He's gone anyway. You're not even there with a living body. You're sitting there living over the dead body. See, Srivas knew Bhagavatam. He knew that Yamaraj went to the woman. She was crying her eyes out for her husband who died, and she was going to go and do sati, to burn herself on the pyre and all this. And Yamaraj came in the form of a boy and said, what are you lamenting? The body's dead. He's gone, man. See, transcendental knowledge. Look at you lamenting over that. Well, you got to do it anyway. Grieve it out. That's a purification, actually. So if you got to do it, you got to do it. See, but Srivas said, no, I want to be with the living body of the Lord, man, in ecstasy and transcendental happiness. Yeah, you can go sit there with the dead body of your son and go look at that and cry. It's all a drama anyway. It's not real. He's in the unseen now. He sees you, Lama. He's thinking, you stupid fools. What are you doing this? I'm alive. I'll always be alive. You will too. Yeah, even in the Jesus thing, the angels, when the person dies and the people, they're over on the other side. People who saw this, they had these near-death things, they commented on this. They said, and the angels told these people that saw them and the dead people dying, transcending, he said, if they knew that we're right here on the other side, it's just like, like a birth. It's like a new birth. You transcend from this life or this dream, it's kind of a dream for most people, into the next existence. And they're there to receive you. See? And it's like you wake up on another bed, you wake up in the morning, and then they're there to say, hey, welcome to your new life. Unless you're really a bad person, and then the Yamadutas come after you. They're welcome. Oh, welcome. Let's grab that guy and let's drag him to Yamaraj. That's for you. That Klaus is going to be there. Klaus and Bill Gates, man. Hey, man, we're going to drag you before Yamaraj, and your destination ain't going to be very sweet. All those persons you injected, man, we're going to inject something in you, too. Go ahead there, River.
Okay. He soon heaved high in the waves of divine bliss, generated by the Kirtan and the presence of the Lord. The deep knowledge and devotion of Srivas Pandit is very exalted and rare. Such indeed are the characteristics of a servant of Sri Chaitanya.
Yeah, I mean, you see, deep knowledge and understanding is the characteristics of a real servant of Lord Caitanya. That's who you should be looking to associate with, a real associate of the transcendental Lord Caitanya. See, and then you'll start to understand all of this. You'll relate to all of this, and you'll become part of the associates of the Lord. This is why this is a revival of that. We show you every day. What, you don't see any deep knowledge here? What is this, just ordinary Hari Katha that you get at an ISKCON temple? Same old, same old? Where we talk about Varnashram Dharma and the glories of glories of doing Varnashram Dharma and acting according to your Varna and Ashram. No, it's not like that at all. Very deep, uncommon transcendental knowledge, because that comes from transcendental association. There's no other way. Yeah, this is so deep that even these gurus can't evaluate it, that this is special. That's why I say, what is that, man? They can't even evaluate the specialness of what's here. What is that? How important is that? People need to hear that. You think it's so important to serve those who don't see what's really important? How important is that, for God's sake? This is important. This is special. This is deep knowledge. And if you don't put any importance to this ecstatic worship and this deep knowledge that comes to it, you're very unimportant, and you need to know that, and your followers need to know that, because that's keeping you both in illusion. You're going around stroking each other's false ego. Oh, my Gurudev, give me mercy. And there's no mercy to be given. This is mercy. This is truth. This is where it's going. This is ecstasy. This is why Lord Caitanya came here. Not for that. You're just stroking each other's false egos, playing doctor. There's no real doctor out there. They don't have the medicine of ecstatic love. They don't have the medicine of conclusive truth. It's unimportant now because this is here. See, not to see the importance of this is called illusion. It's called religion. If you want to know God, if you really want to know God, you have to abandon all varieties of religion and come into the association of those who give you the real God, the transcendental Lord, transcendental knowledge that's greater than any of that. Knowledge that they speak to you, that's like right out of the Vedas, man. Matter of fact, what they speak is the Vedas. Makes the Vedas more clear, makes the direction more clear. That's why you see, they wrote down what Jesus said. He spoke it, and they wrote it down, and it's made saints. So I tell you, write this stuff down, and you make changes in people. Turn their lives around. Right now they're reading Radhanath stuff, right? Radhanath. Oh, be mindful. Be a selfless, all these Buddhist type sayings, man. That's why I say it's unimportant to me. If you're preaching that, that's coming out of your mouth and your pen. and people are meditating on that, they're going to make this definitely going to take them many lifetimes to achieve Krishna. Just give me a Vaishnava conception as it is. One verse can deliver people, deliver them the real Krishna, the real path, the real association. Bhagavad Gita 10:10 spoken as it is, not changed and said different things. Bhagavad Gita 10:10, follow those who worship the Lord in ecstatic devotion. They have the real understanding. They have real transcendental knowledge. What more do you need to know about where the real path is, how to attain God in this life? It's right there. In so many verses, each verse, each sentence, everything is. The seed of all things are in that. And you wonder why I don't give any importance to that, to all that speculation or that. I don't think anything's important but the quick path into Vrindavan. To me, that is prime importance. That is why the world is going to hell, because they need a spiritual revolution. And a big enema of this material illusion.
Maharaj, is it all right if I come off now? Because I've been on a long time.
Yeah,
now.
that's good.
Yeah.
Let's take
Thank
a little
you very
break.
much.
Otherwise,
Thank you very much. Thanks,
heavy.
Tom.
Yeah, too much lying.
It's brilliant, actually. Okay.
Yeah. So give us a word, Tom. What are you thinking?
I was writing a lot in the comments and reading about Matthew 8 from the Bible. I can read. Another of the disciples said to him, Lord, permit me first to go and bury my father. But Jesus said to him, follow me and allow the dead to bury their own dead. I had to think of that when I was listening to you.
Yeah, that's a great one. I like that.
Yeah.
And follow the
follow
dead.
me. Yes, that one.
Yeah. People are following the dead. When you follow Varnashram Dharma, there's not a lot of life in that. There's something, but it's just it's like a mode of goodness. It's a stage. They have a little Krishna in there. It's like Veda Vyas, he wrote the Mahabharata. There's Krishna in there, right? Little Krishna, but he was still unhappy. And that's kind of like the Vaidhi Bhakti. They got a lot of rules and regulations, moral things you do, and ceremonies, and there's a little Krishna in there. But still the heart ain't that happy. Veda Vyas was teaching that the heart wasn't that happy. He wrote the Mahabharata, still not quite happy. And so the ecstatic devotee, Narada Muni comes, when he prayed, like, I want some more. I want a more deeper thing with Krishna, deeper happiness. And so Narada came and said, yeah, you got to more elaborately fluff out the truth about the Lord, that it's more than Varnashram Dharma that you taught. Show more of the pastimes and the more intimate understanding all the way up to the 10th canto. The more deep, very intimate relationships between the Lord and his most intimate devotees. Then you'll be happy and others will be so happy because it'll awaken that Lord in them. Yeah. And otherwise you're there's all this, you're basically serving zombies. People are not awakened yet. They're considered dead. I mean, we have knowledge. I can explain. What does Jesus mean with let the dead bury the dead? The dead are in the modes of nature. We have Bhagavad Gita to explain what Jesus said. Let the dead bury the dead. The dead are those who are influenced and covered by the modes of passion, ignorance, and even goodness. You notice, even in goodness, they follow the rituals. Even in goodness, they do for the forefathers. See? And Jesus, a higher level, said, let those dead good people bury the dead. You follow me. Follow what? Follow life. See, you follow me into the regeneration. See, that's the example of a living devotee. See, you follow them in the way they worship and who they worship and like they worship. See, and then you become like them. And you become part of their group, part of the society of liberated souls. Otherwise, you're following the dead. And you don't know it because in the modes of nature, there's a bit of a glow. Even mode of goodness glows the most, but it's dim. It's dim compared to the real truth, the transcendental truth. See, like the wives are basically saying, "Oh, let's stop the kirtan. See, let's go bury our son. Let's do the rituals for our son, and all of that." So Srivas is basically saying the same thing as Jesus. Let the dead bury the dead. He's dead already. The dead are, actually in the dead ones. The dead ones are the ones in the unseen. They're not really dead, but let them deal with them. See, follow the living. You got this living force here, rarely comes. So that Jesus said, follow me. He was the living force in this world. He was the light of the world. He could speak like that and nobody else. Pharisees couldn't speak like that and show the real path and the real truth and inspire people, that way. That's why I tell everybody here, practically, you don't have to be serving these demigods. You don't have to be serving people in the illusion. Serve this mission, man, and you'll do the best thing. You're serving the mission of liberating souls. You don't have to serve the ISKCON group and wash dishes for them and all that stuff. Just get into serving here, man. Transcribing this, get into this mission. You don't have to go out there and be in the soup kitchens with the Christians and the other people doing the open kitchen, soup kitchens and feeding the homeless people and all that stuff. Come here and serve this mission. Everybody is really homeless here, from this perspective. Everybody they're not in their real home. Real home is in this intimate relationship. And you got an opportunity to serve this, to get people in there. Yeah, go ahead, Tom. What?
They have to meet that helping hand that pulls them out of that circle. They are entangled. They are addicted to keep investing in that circle. And it's inconclusive. And you have to meet that helping hand that maybe sometimes it's a slapping hand, like Arjuna, wake up. Yes. Wake up,
Yeah.
Arjuna. Slap,
Yeah,
slap.
you got to. Yeah, you have to do that. Otherwise, you're stuck there. And that's why you see Jesus said these tough things, but it brought people to the transcendental plane. It was deeper knowledge that people need that you don't have, even as a Brahmin or a sannyasi in the Varnashram system. You have to meet a specially empowered person who has this deep knowledge, deep understanding, because they have this deep bhakti, this pure bhakti. And come into their association, come out of that association. Even St. Francis taught this. He would go and preach. He said, does anybody want to come out of that association into our association? We have very intimate relationship with God, very beautiful. You can also come into this.
Krishna said it to Arjuna. Get out of that train of thought. We already won. We are already alive, and the dead, they are dead. It's already.
It's already won.
Yeah. Come into this win-win situation.
Yeah.
I'll give you. Yeah, you are following me. Arjuna was following Krishna, so he just lifted him up into this higher consciousness, in this full getting the picture, getting the full picture.
That's how it works. It's just, I was watching a TikTok video and there's this group, they want to do something about what's going on here. And they say, you got to do something about all of this and, that's going on here. And they say, you see the elites are doing. And so what I heard is, oh, you want to fight because you're fighting what's going on here. And okay, that's what you do. You're another one of those, let the dead bury the dead. Let the dead ones fight the dead. Because they're both basically dead. And they're servants of the Lord at that level. If you want to serve dead people, or you want to fight, fight the dead people, and the dead people want to fight the dead people, you're all dead all the way through the modes of nature. You're dead. We fight in this way because, like Krishna says, I've already won. See? So that's
yeah,
why, yeah.
yeah. Thanks to listening to you, I can distinguish. There are a lot of levels. They are dysfunctional. Yes, it
Yeah.
doesn't help to go and demonstrate. It doesn't help unless you use the name of Krishna and chant. Yes, then the demonstration is functional. But it doesn't help if you go into politics and you keep abiding those rules and regulations. Yes, but the law says this and this, and the material law is dysfunctional.
Yeah.
I
Well,
studied for many years.
there's faults
It's
in
just an
that.
opinion of the council of the wicked. That's all.
Yeah. So and it's okay for those who are in the illusion because they're inspired by that. See, the Lord inspires them. But I'm here to teach something more. Like Jesus taught something more. Lord Caitanya taught something more. Srivas was teaching something more. And if you get into that more, you get free from the service within the modes of nature. That's what keeps you in this illusion. And then you'll fight the bad, and the bad will fight the good. That's what they've been doing. It started that's why we're here to tell you remind you what God said to Adam and Eve. Don't eat the apple from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. See, we're bringing people away from that tree. And in this way, the Lord wins because he's got some servants here in this world to show the most potent form of fighting. See, the most potent form of fighting is the truth. Sets everybody free, sets the demigods and the demons free. Whoever's meant to listen, and the Lord has people in the demon section and in the demigod, good people and the bad people. He has people there. They're like sleeper agents waiting to hear this message. That's why I say serve this mission. They're waiting to hear this message. He's got sleeper agents amongst it. Maybe it's Klaus Schwab. Who knows? Maybe he just needs to hear this message. And they will turn, just like this is the way it works. This is Bhagavatam. This is everything. The pastimes are all these different times. This is what happened with Prahlad. This is what happened when Krishna was here. People changed sides. Yeah, Lord Brahm, same thing. And also now people will change sides. They're already doing it with Jesus he's in this too. This is a spiritual war, but this is how you engage in it. Not by fighting bodies. They want to fight bodies and move things around, like moving the furniture around. Furniture is heavy. Takes a lot of energy to move furniture around. That's when we want to move these things around, do that thing. Move that furniture around.
There are many people. They spend their whole life, to fight one rule. Yes, and the rule was just put into law by a few persons, but to engage your whole life to conquer that one rule, this is a far more functional level to approach things.
Oh, more effective, yes. Much more, yeah. Yeah, because it's the Lord. The stuff is all to do with the material bodies to change things around, it's to move the furniture around. See, this moves, from the consciousness around, where people, they just start connecting with the truth and find how we're all related to the truth. All of us. It's actually one family, but people, because of the modes of nature, are cut off from that. Yeah. And so this is the way this is the way, this is the effective thing. This is how we, that's how I'm doing it. And,
I really love this. Yes, this is the upgrade solution. This is
upgrade.
this is the way, the
Yeah.
real way.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, they're not even clear on what Jesus said. Why, they want to fight this, but they're in the mode of passion. They're trying to fight this, and even their Jesus said, I am not of this world, and he didn't want to listen to Barabbas, who said you should fight these unjust kings. The Romans, they were, just unjust, and they were tricky. They lied, they cheated people, just like now. And Barabbas wanted Jesus to fight them and become the king of the world like that. And Jesus said, no, I'm not into that, man. I didn't come here for that.
We are not imprisoned by that identification. We are
Yeah.
not there. That's we know a higher, a supreme living force. The Chaitanya consciousness.
Yeah, and even people now, they forgot that Jesus was like that, but they now they superimpose this thing of fighting this thing, trying to right the wrongs of the world. Well, it's hard work. If that's your service in this world, the Lord will inspire you, and you do it. I'm inspired to fight like this. I want to create an army like this. Well, I don't want to create, but we're creating an army like this just by what we do here. Yeah. All right, let's take a little break now for a little bit, huh? Play the song. Nice song. Mellow things out.
He would go out at sunrise, chanting, dancing to his name. Haribo, Haribo. He would wake up everyone, rise and rejoice to the name. Haribo, Haribo. Mukunda Madhava, Govinda Hari, Haribo, Haribo. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste and give away the sweetness of his brain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all you have to do is take to the sweet chanting of his name. Haribo, Haribo. Every day the sun will rise, and every day the sun will set. Haribo, Haribo. What's the value of your life if devotion you don't get? Haribo, Haribo. Take the name into your heart, take it with you when you part. Haribo, Hari Bol. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste and give away the sweetness of his praise. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Chaitanya.